the Association of the American Foreign Service Worldwide, AAFSW, warmly welcomes you to join us in recognizing the outstanding work of the recipients abroad and here. It is my pleasure to introduce our President, AAFSW President, Dr. Joanna Athanasopoulos Owen, who is a geophysics and environmental management consultant. She was born in California, and she was raised in Greece, Athens. As a result of that, she was raised in 5 languages: English, Greek, Spanish, French, and Italian. She is the recipient of the Outstanding Teaching Award from the University of California in Santa Barbara, UC SV. And Dr. Joanna Athanasopoulos has been the president of the AAFSW since August 2016, and excuse me, my voice is so bad, you can hear me. I have a throat problem with the allergies, and I lose my voice very often. But anyway, she is also the fundraising for the AAFSW chair of this, for us. So thank you so much, Joanna.
Thank you very much, Sila. Thank you for the nice introduction. Good morning, everybody. Deputy Assistant Secretary Dirman, distinguished guests, colleagues, and friends, as our AFSW Program Chair, Sila Switzer, kindly mentioned, my name is Dr. Joanna Athanasopoulos Owen, and I am the President of the Associates of the American Foreign Service Worldwide, and I am a volunteer. Let's go one more time. Hi, I am Joan, and I am a volunteer. That's where you get to say, hi, Joanna, I'm a volunteer too. Because I'm sure inside here we have many, many, many volunteers. And that's what we're celebrating today. This is a celebration for all our volunteers across the American Foreign Service, mainly abroad, but also domestically. You will see in all the awards that follow. So, this is the 27th annual presentation of the Secretary of State Award for Outstanding Volunteerism Abroad, otherwise known as SOSA. This award recognizes the most compelling volunteer efforts by foreign service employees and family members abroad. During its history, the SOSA program has honored more than 116 awardees, chosen from over 130 diplomatic missions within the 6 geographical bureaus. We are grateful to have the continued support of former Secretary of State James Baker and his wife, Mrs. Susan Baker, who helped establish this award in 1990 to recognize the goodwill of Americans for exceptional community service abroad. Former Secretary of State Colin Powell and his wife, Mrs. Alma Powell, former Secretary of State George Shultz, the Ambassador Stephen J. Green School of International and Public Affairs at Florida International University, and the Green Foundation, as well as the support of the Center Family Foundation and the countless AFSW members and volunteers. The winners of the annual SOSA Award exemplify the best of the American spirit of volunteerism. SOSA awardees demonstrate outstanding creativity and commitment to improving the lives of others in our host nations by reflecting the highest ideals of diplomacy and humanitarian leadership. SOSA winners are engaged citizens who believe that giving is receiving. Today, the SOSA winners will receive a certificate of gratitude for their inspiring contributions signed by the Secretary of State and AFSW. Thanks to the kind contribution of our generous donors mentioned before, each one of the SOSA awardees will also receive a cash award of $2,500, as well as a pin, which we have it here, that reads, Outstanding Volunteer, which commemorates the annual AAFSW ceremony. As the AAFSW President, it is my great privilege and honor to introduce our keynote speaker, Deputy Assistant Secretary in the Bureau of Human Resources, Constance Dierman. Deputy Assistant Secretary Dierman oversees issues relating to family members, overseas employment, shared services, retirement, and grievances. A career member of the Senior Foreign Service, Deputy Assistant Secretary Dierman has served overseas in Kabul, Baghdad, Bridgetown, Canberra, and Geneva. Her domestic assignments include tours in the Bureaus of Human Resources, Near Eastern Affairs, South and Central Asian Affairs, European and Eurasian Affairs, Overseas Buildings, Operation, Protocol, and the Executive Secretariat. Deputy Assistant Secretary Dierman has earned numerous individual performance awards, including the 2013 Director General of the Foreign Service and Director of Human Resources Award for Excellence in Human Resource Management. The Associates of the American Foreign Service worldwide, and I, personally, are grateful for the continued support of our annual award ceremony and welcome Deputy Assistant Secretary Dierman to the stage to honor the 2017 award recipients. Please join me in welcoming Deputy Assistant Secretary.
Thank you so much for the kind introduction, Joanna, and thank you for allowing me to participate with you today. Good morning, everyone. I would like to extend a very warm welcome to all of you here today to recognize the exceptional contributions of very special members of the Foreign Service family. These are our 2017 SOSA honorees, who today join the ranks of over 150 SOSA recipients since 1990. It's truly a privilege to be able to stand before such an incredible group of individuals who have given selflessly of their time and talents. Throughout my career in the Foreign Service, I've always been impressed by the amazing contributions made by our employees, our eligible family members, and our members of household, who every single day create a long-lasting positive impact around the globe. You motivate us to be our very best selves with projects and activities that showcase service, compassion, and commitment to the Foreign Service community. Your selfless acts on behalf of all Americans have, for many, become the face of our country abroad. We are truly fortunate to have you as part of the State Department family. I think we all know this, but volunteer work is not a part of all cultures, and host country nationals are often fascinated by the creativity and dedication of our community members who willingly contribute their time and energy. Volunteer work constitutes a very effective form of personal and unofficial public diplomacy. All of today's awards, SOSA, Tragan, Dorman, CCE, EFM, seek to identify and recognize those individuals whose efforts have greatly enhanced the lives of others. Through volunteer opportunities, support for EFM employment, or enhancing the rights and benefits of Foreign Service community members, today's awards recognize those that have labored tirelessly to contribute to the Department's mission. We are incredibly appreciative of the award recipients here today. You have made significant and lasting contributions. You have managed clinics. You've increased public awareness by creating websites. You've exposed young women to technology and entrepreneurship. You've served as the embassy's community outreach lead, and you've developed new economic opportunities. You're really an inspiration to all of us. I understand this type of commitment could not be made possible without the support of families. So at this moment, I would like to take the opportunity to extend sincere gratitude to the family members that are here today and at home for your continued support. Clearly, they have encouraged you in your endeavors. Families, please accept my deepest appreciation for all you do and all you have done for your loved ones. I know you are so proud of them, and I'm so pleased that some of you could be here today for this special moment. On behalf of the Secretary of State and all of my colleagues around the world, I wish to applaud you all and to most sincerely thank you for your generous and valued contributions to the U.S. government. We are so very grateful to have you on our team. Honorees, thank you for your compassion and for your outreach. Your work continues to improve the lives of those around you every single day. And last, and certainly not least, a huge thank you to the Associates of the American Foreign Service Worldwide for administering the SOSA Awards for the last 26 years. We look forward to many more years of exceptional service and volunteerism from the Foreign Service community. Thank you and congratulations to all.
Thank you very much for the kind words. As the AAFSW President, it is my great pleasure to introduce the AAFSW SOSA Chair, Ms. Yolanda Macias-Cottrell. Ms. Macias-Cottrell has a certificate in Management of Tourism Enterprises, and she has always been involved in volunteer activities, such as the Link Literary Program in Johannesburg, South Africa, a project designed to help improve the reading of children in low-income communities for whom English is a second or third language. Our AAFSW SOSA Chair will introduce this year's SOSA winners. Yolanda.
Thank you all. Good morning. The Associates of the American Foreign Service Worldwide presents every year the Secretary of State Award for Outstanding Volunteerism Abroad to recognize the most exceptional volunteer efforts by Foreign Service employees and family members who are living and working overseas. As you hear, the SOSA program was established in 1990 with the direct support of then Secretary of State James Baker and his wife Susan. During an official trip, Mrs. Baker was impressed by the extraordinary volunteer work performed by the Foreign Service community that she decided to establish an award to recognize volunteer accomplishments. And she approached the AAFSW with this idea. And since then, the Associates of the American Foreign Service Worldwide has managed and promoted this award. As Joanna also said, we are fortunate to have the continued support of former Secretary of State James Baker and his wife Susan. We are grateful for the contributions for former Secretaries of State George Shultz and Colin Powell, the Center Family Foundation, and retired Ambassador Stephen Green, who continues to donate annually through his family foundation. Without these donations, we will not be able to host the annual ceremony and present the winners with a financial award. This year, we received 17 nominations from 5 of the 7 regions bureaus. The selection process was a difficult one because all the nominees were impressive. A key factor in selecting a winner is sustainability, and we believe the projects of this year's awardees will continue over the long term, reaching many local citizens and their communities. I would like also to give thank you and appreciation to the continued support of the regional bureaus who make it possible for the winners to return to Washington to receive this award. You will learn more about the winners as we present each with a certificate signed by the Secretary of State and a check from the AAFSW. And I'm sure and I'm certain that you will be inspired by what these honorees have accomplished at their post. So I will introduce now the 2017 SOSA winners. From the Bureau of African Affairs, Grace Ann Turner. Grace is recognized for her great contribution to improving the quality of medical care at the House of Hope Clinic in Dakar, Senegal. Grace Ann designed a program to improve patient intake, devised an ingenious way to train mothers to rehydrate their ill children at home, and trained the staff to use the World Health Organization triage system. This system was instrumental in identifying and stopping a potentially dangerous outbreak of measles throughout urban Dakar. Dr. Grace, as she is affectionately called by her patients, raised the profile of the clinic in the local community and internationally, bringing in thousands of dollars in donations, medicines, and materials. Congratulations, Grace.
Deputy Assistant Secretary Dearman, AAFSW members and SOSA Selection Committee members, family, friends, ladies and gentlemen, good morning and thank you. Thank you very much for honoring me with such a prestigious award. I am grateful and humbled. Thank you to the members of the AAFSW, all volunteers themselves. Having the opportunity to meet Alicia, Craig, and Maritza, and hearing about their innovative projects has been inspiring. I would like to take this opportunity to thank my colleagues also in Senegal. As with any healthcare facility, we work together as a team, and I would have nothing to show from my time at the House of Hope if it weren't for the motivation and efforts of my friends and colleagues. These 25 clinicians and support staff work every day under difficult conditions, striving to provide high-quality healthcare with limited resources. They have embraced me with open arms and have been patient when my language skills failed or when my cultural understanding, or rather misunderstandings, created friction. As is true with most volunteer positions, I feel I have received far more than I have contributed. Thank you again.
From the Bureau of East Asian and Pacific Affairs, Craig Houston. Craig Houston is recognized for his selfless dedication to the issue of air quality awareness, which has improved the health and lives of Northern Thailand's residents and visitors. Working without compensation, staff, or budget, Craig Houston created a multifaceted website to promote awareness of severe air quality issues during Northern Thailand's annual agricultural burning season, provide sustainable solutions to the problem, and support information sharing. He partnered with local air quality experts, NGOs, schools, and film directors to tackle this issue, and provided training to the use of the air quality monitors in schools and local businesses. Congratulations, Craig.
Good morning, everybody. Firstly, again, I'd like to reiterate the thanks to the AAFSW for this huge honor. And it really is amazing to be considered among this year's winners and all the other past winners of this award. It's truly humbling to be considered amongst them. I'm sure, like many of you here, I got my first experience of air pollution living overseas. For my family, that happened to be Beijing. So we started at the extreme end of the pollution. And I still remember the days when I could look out of our apartment and not be able to see the building across the road. And clean air really is one of those things that you don't really appreciate until you don't have it. And as bad as the air was in Beijing, I didn't really feel compelled to do anything about it until our baby boy came into our lives. And having someone who depends entirely on you for their health and protection kind of changes your perspective on things. We live in beautiful northern Thailand now, but like many parts of Southeast Asia, it suffers from extreme air pollution during the agricultural burning season, during several months of the year. And I'd read that young children were particularly susceptible and vulnerable to air pollution. And that got me thinking about our son's health. And so I decided to try and learn more about the problem and see if I could help protect his lungs. So I started measuring air pollution inside of our apartment. And I think the dads may be pleased to find out that our air purifiers were actually making sure our air was actually clean inside our house. So that was a relief. And thanks to our local GSO there, and many others I know tackle this problem. But outside was a different story. And what I discovered was there's very few measurements of the most dangerous type of particulate pollution in our city in Chiang Mai. And that bothered me because where we live, we're next to 3 large elementary schools. And I know that the children going to school there were being exposed to dangerous levels of air pollution during the burning season. And I knew that the parents of those children care just as much about the health of their sons and daughters as my wife and I cared about our sons. So working with several schools, we helped install a number of air quality sensors, and that led to some of those schools installing air purifiers in all their classrooms, and others decided to change their physical education timetable during the smoky season to protect the children. And we're now working with a team of concerned citizens to install a citywide and regional-wide network of air pollution sensors to raise awareness of the problem through the website we've created, and also ultimately encourage creative solutions to the problem. I'm grateful to all the schools, the community leaders, teachers, parents, and actually the consulate community who continue to support our efforts to raise awareness of this problem in northern Thailand. And I'm also grateful for what this experience taught me, which was there's no better way to feel part of a community than to sit down and work together on something that's meaningful to the people we share a home with. So thank you very much.
From the Bureau of European and Eurasian Affairs, Alicia Krupeni-Kava. Alicia is recognized for her extraordinary volunteer work as Ukraine's first regional ambassador of the Technovation Challenge. Alicia recruited more than 150 girls from all over Ukraine to participate in the program and found 50 mentors to coach them. She signed up several partners like Microsoft to support the program and recruited the top technical university in the Ukraine to host the country's Technovation Challenge event. She raised over $20,000 to pay for travel to Kiev, prizes for the teams, and the travel cost of one team to attend the World event in San Francisco. She then recruited a team to take over and grow the program after she departed post. Congratulations, Alicia.
Thank you, dear Deputy Assistant Secretary. One day I will get the protocol right. AAFSW, everybody involved in this award, I'm truly honored to be here and really humbled. Working with Technovation in Ukraine has been a life-changing experience for me. I wish I could tell you all about 150 girls that participated in the program, but as an example, I would like to share with you one of the stories of one of the teams. So these are 4 girls. I don't know if you can see. These are 4 13, 14-year-old girls from a small town in Ukraine. They come from pretty hard family situations. Through this program, they have done something they have never done in their life before. They identified a problem in their community and tried to solve this problem with the help of technology. Their little town that they live in has lots of train tracks, and they saw every year lots of kids crossing those tracks and get killed. This had happened to some of their friends, and they wanted to help. Within 3 months, a mobile app from scratch that could warn the users about the train that is approaching. And they will take off their headphones, will see the train, and it will potentially save the kids' lives. They developed a business plan and did a marketing research to present it to potential sponsors. Within just 3 months of participating in this program, they grew from being extremely shy to even talk to their mentor, to being able to stand on the podium in front of more than 100 people to present their pitch in English, and talk later, give interviews to local TV and radio stations. Technovation provided these girls with encouragement and opportunities to learn lifelong skills of teamwork, entrepreneurship, and leadership. Giving girls like this a chance to see what they're capable of has truly been one of the most rewarding things I've ever done in my life. I would like to thank all the volunteers and mentors who coached and guided our teams and who helped us start this program in Ukraine this year. Sandra Cavallo, Nadia Virna, Irina Zimok, and all the Peace Corps volunteers who mentored the teams, Kelly, Janet, Jason, Casey, and many, many others who helped us reach out to the most remote areas in Ukraine and small towns and villages. And I would also like to thank my best friend, my husband, who mentored this team. And without your help and your passion for helping people, I wouldn't be here today in front of you. So thank you very much to everyone, and thank you for this award. Thank you.
Thank you, Alicia. From the Bureau of South and Central Asia Affairs, Lisa A. Hess. Lisa, unfortunately, was unable to travel to Washington this time, and Mr. Howard Van Braken, Executive Director of the SCA Bureau, kindly accepted to receive the certificate on her behalf. Lisa Hess is recognized for her central role in organizing community engagement activities that provided benefits to Sri Lanka while also giving embassy staff and visiting U.S. sailors an opportunity for service. Lisa's projects including refurbishing a community center, providing dental clinics to poor children, repairing a no-kill animal shelter, and painting classrooms in a school for the deaf and blind. Lisa also coordinates fundraising projects which benefit an underprivileged local school and spearhead a fundraising campaign to provide a month's salary to 19 of the embassy's LES employees and families who lost everything during the floods in Colombo. So if you can, thank you, Mr. Van Braken.
I'm not Lisa Hess, but I was in touch with Lisa Hess. She was overwhelmed by receiving this award. She told me that during her time in Sri Lanka, just participating in these activities was the most fulfilling thing that she was able to do. And that was plenty of recognition and reward for her. Her ambassador, however, asked me to convey to this very distinguished group his opinion that Lisa's participation and leadership in these community events was absolutely essential in turning around aspects of our relationship with Sri Lanka. In fact, her time in Sri Lanka coincided with an election when a government that didn't like the United States was ousted, and one that was more sympathetic towards the United States came in. Lisa's participation and leadership, organizational skills, and actually her work with the press helped to illustrate to somewhat skeptical public the United States was committed to improving things in Sri Lanka in a very meaningful and impactful way. And so I think that is a real testimony to the power of volunteerism and to your good organization. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Premek. And from the Bureau of Western Hemisphere Affairs, Maritza Wilson. Maritza Wilson is recognized for her extraordinary efforts to improve community health in Nicaragua. As a volunteer doctor at the Amos Foundation, a nonprofit clinic in Managua, she conducted home visits and home surveys to better understand the needs of the community, training members and leaders of the community in basic home health care. She spent a week in an impoverished Atlantic Coast village teaching basic health concepts. Maritza led training sessions at 4 high schools, providing instructions on reproductive health, and worked alongside U.S. neurosurgeons visiting Nicaragua every year to provide training and assistance in neurology treatments. Maritza also worked to develop economic opportunities for families in her home village of San Juan de Oriente, starting a nonprofit venture to expand marketing opportunities for local artisans. Congratulations, Maritza.
Good morning. Can you hear me? Good morning, Deputy Assistant Secretary, dear ma'am, and invited guests. Thanks for inviting me to this event. Thanks to AAFSW and the Department for supporting the award. Thanks to the Embassy in Managua for this nomination, especially Ambassador Doe and Charles Davis. This is a great honor to be here and receiving this award. I want to thank to my husband who support me, not only helping with homework with the boy, but economically to move around the country. Thanks also to God for opening doors in different countries where I can see the needs and the opportunities to serve. Before becoming a U.S. citizen, I was born and raised in Nicaragua. I graduated in medical school in Managua. After 20 years living overseas, it is very special to return to my birth country, where I met my husband when he was a Peace Corps volunteer. Now that we are back, we are happy to serve Nicaragua and the family and the people. I love the story of Dr. David Livingstone and his exploration of Africa. In particular, I admire his medical work, which is an inspiration to my medical career also. I like one of his famous quotes. He said, "I determined never to stop until I have come to the end and achieved my purpose. I look forward to continue my projects before wherever we go." Thank you, everyone.
Well, thank you, everybody, and congratulations. I wouldn't be a good president of the Associates of the American Foreign Service if I didn't put a commercial right now. So all these awardees, all our SOSA winners, although they don't have to be a member of our association to earn the award or even to be nominated for the award, we offer a free and honorary membership for 1 year so that we can lure into our association volunteers of that caliber. So hopefully you are going to join us further in the future and we'll see more of you. Thank you very much for your service. So now it is my great honor to introduce the president of DACOR, Mr. Jim Benson, who will present the Eleanor Dodson Tragen Award. Jim Benson, who is a retired Foreign Service officer posted in many Central and South America countries, holds a master's degree focusing on strategic planning from the National War College. For many years, Mr. Benson has shared his expertise about the Andean region countries with other Foreign Service officers while teaching in FSI. Mr. Benson.
Thank you and good morning. For those of you who don't know DACOR, I'll give you a brief primer on that. It is an organization of foreign affairs professionals made up principally of retired and active duty members, both in the foreign and civil service, from the 5 foreign affairs agencies. Each year, DACOR presents 2 major awards, one of them being the Foreign Service Cup, which is given at Foreign Affairs Day in May, and the other is the Eleanor Dodson Tragen Award that we give today. As you'll note in your programs, this award is given to someone who is chosen for his or her efforts to enhance the global rights and benefits provided to the Foreign Service family. I should also recognize Mr. Irving Tragen here, who is the backbone behind this award and the one who really gives us a lot of support at DACOR for having this award go forward. So thank you very much, Irv, once again, and welcome. This year's winner is Kelly Bembry Medura. Kelly and her husband, Christopher, served in assignments, in 7 assignments overseas in Europe, Africa, and Latin America. And I say serve together because I think everybody in this room would understand that eligible family members serve as well and support the aims and the benefits and the life, really, of the United States of America and its foreign policy overseas just as much as the officers are being sent overseas at that time. Kelly spent many years working in a variety of the sort of activities that really do fit exactly with the definition of the award that I described in terms of serving families and providing the benefits to those families overseas. The one thing I really note in her biography here that I thought was really great, particularly after years myself of dealing with issues overseas, is the name of her blog. Well, that was different, which is something I think many of us have said at some time or another in our time overseas. I'd like to read the citation of this so you can get a real sense of the reasoning behind the decision to give Kelly this award today. Kelly Bembry Medura is the poster child for if you can find a support source, if you can't find a support source, create it yourself, something else we know quite well. A philosophy she embraced throughout her 30 years as a Foreign Service spouse. Wherever she was posted, she created support groups for the local Foreign Service community, receiving numerous citations for her work. She also created websites, blogs, and discussion groups to advance community building at the global level. Described as a lifeline for all in the Foreign Service, much of her work has been institutionalized by the State Department, various posts, and AAFSW, ensuring that those still to come will find rich resources to support their service abroad. So it gives me a great honor at this time to present Kelly with the Eleanor Dodson Tragen Award for 2017.
Well, good morning, everyone. I'm really a writer, not a speaker, so I'm going to keep this very short. I want to thank my longtime Foreign Service friend, Jan Fisher-Bachman, who's out there somewhere, for nominating me for this award. We've been friends, oh, there she is. We've been friends ever since AAFSW Playgroup when our kids were toddlers, and since then we've bounced back and forth between different countries and cities, and at one point we're even sort of inadvertently neighbors on the same street for several years, which just goes to show you how the Foreign Service community works, that you just never know who you're going to run into. In any case, also thank you very much to DACOR and AAFSW and to Mr. Trogan. We've just retired after 29 years of service in the Foreign Service, and so this award is particularly well timed. I'm sort of looking at it as my gold watch, and I really appreciate it. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I'd say more, but I have a blog for that, so I'll let you go. Thank you.
Congratulations. Now I'm very happy to introduce Bob Castro, a member of the AAFSW Eligible Family Member Selection Committee, as well as the 2013 Tragen Award and the 2016 SOSA Award winner. In 2014, Bob conceived and advocated for the creation of the Champions of Career Enhancement Award. Today, he will share the objectives and criteria of this award while outlining the specific accomplishments of the 2017 winner. Bob, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Joanna. Das Dearman, I like saying that because Connie and I go way back. Acting Assistant Administrator Barnett, who's the senior USAID member of the audience today, and a who's who of the Foreign Service community who've showed up for Judy Eichels, all protocols observed. The CCE-EFM Award was conceived not simply to reward those who go above and beyond their day job to deliver lasting, tangible employment opportunities. AAFSW seeks also to highlight individuals who serve as catalysts and encourage those who are in a position to make a difference. This past year especially, that means not just creating or helping EFMs find jobs, rather looking to help Foreign Service family members approach their entire career trajectory as an ongoing enterprise, a continuum that needs cultivating and which serves as an asset to U.S. foreign policy and national security objectives, whether they are working at post or taking time away from work to support intermittent family needs or constant moves, or putting their talents to work towards public diplomacy and global development goals through work outside the mission, on the local economy, on the global economy, or in pro bono and volunteer roles, doing what today's SOSA recipients so ably embody as the face of America. Each year we have outstanding nominees as examples, and this year's runners-up, Laura Sheehan at Embassy Hanoi and Amanda Walters at CG Sao Paulo, deserve honorable mention, and I hope you'll read about their actions on AAFSW's online media. But without doubt, Judy Eichels' body of work and a lifetime of achievement demonstrate the sustained heart of a champion, whose persistence on pivotal issues facing EFMs in a series of roles garnered nominations and endorsements from some of the most respected members of the Foreign Service community. Many of them are here today. Judy would be the first to share the credit with others on her team, but without her leadership, these watershed victories in support of EFMs would not now exist, in my opinion. Creation of the Family Member Appointment, FMA, with full benefits to replace the part-time, intermittent, temporary PIT category, and then going back to allow for buyback of PIT time towards retirement. The SNAP program, now known as the Global Employment Initiative, and we have global employment advisors in the room, I see. Differentiating the voluntary and involuntary categories for separate maintenance allowance, SMA. Student loan repayment program for consular fellows, a wellness coordinator pilot program in Bogota that may soon roll out globally, and DETO, one of my favorite new terms, a policy framework enabling domestically assigned employees to telecommute from overseas posts and maintain their federal government employment here. And it's possible the bilateral work agreement at your post was negotiated with Judy's help. During her various roles in FLOW, the Work-Life Division, Employee Relations Office, Office of Overseas Employment, functioned in HR, or as an EFM herself, Judy Eichels has consistently demonstrated the core criteria for the CCE EFM Award: exceeding expectations, creative solutions, sustainability and longevity, scope and reach, and impacting other decision makers while serving as a role model. For these reasons, AAFSW Selection Committee was unanimous in choosing Judy Eichels as the 2017 Champions of Career Enhancement for EFM winner. Judy, please come accept your award.
Well, my goodness, thank you very much, Mr. Castro. We met just yesterday, and I just appreciate so much your remarks. Thanks to AAFSW and to Deputy Assistant Secretary Connie Dimron, otherwise known as Connie, to all of us. Thank you so much for being here. I'd also like to thank Mr. Bruce Williamson, the Charge Designate to Bolivia, for placing my name in nomination, to Deputy Assistant Secretary Steve Walker and FLOW Director Susan Frost for their support. I'm sorry that Susan couldn't be here today. I am deeply honored to accept this award on behalf of working family members who serve our communities at home and abroad every day, many of whom are here today. Nothing at the department is a solo achievement, I assure you. Teamwork is everything, and I have had the honor to work with the best. I actually joined a long line of advocates, including our beloved Leslie Dorman, to speak out about family member employment and the importance of it to the Foreign Service community. And I applaud the Family Liaison Office for all of their recent achievements in this regard. And looking forward, I'd like to quickly mention a new project that we have. Never want to pass up an opportunity for a little, announcement. It's been my dream to expand wellness programming overseas, and in 2016, Employee Relations teamed up with the Office of Medical Services and launched a wellness pilot in Bogota, Colombia. Some of the people who worked on that program are here today with my friends from Med. I hope you have a chance to talk to them. We now have a successful roadmap for this program, and there are 60 posts that have expressed interest in having a wellness program at their post. So that is the potential, not to put too fine a point on it, for 60 new jobs for family members if we can just keep going. I'd like to recognize my current director, Sigrid Emmerich, for all of her support, and my colleagues in the Work-Life Division, a team of talented HR professionals developing policy on telework, parental leave, and benefits, among many other important programs that they support. I'm so happy that Ambassador Rob Nolan, who was on the committee that hired me into the Family Liaison in 1995, is here today. Can you believe this, Rob, that we are still, it's just hard to believe, isn't it? So, and special thanks to Kendall Montgomery and Faye Barnes, FLOW directors under whom I served, and all of our past and present colleagues. I'm so touched that you're here. I hope that all of you have a chance before the morning is over to say hello to our son, David, our daughter, and our son-in-law, Catherine and Carlos Celestino, who are sitting here, and my grandson. Thank you for being here. And Larry. Thank you for that Foreign Service journey. It was great. Thank you all.
Congratulations. I'm very happy to introduce Dr. Mette Brickford, our AAFSW State Liaison, who will present the 2017 Leslie Dorman Award, which is dedicated to a former AAFSW president. Mette has been an AAFSW member almost as long as Leslie and has also served as a president. She received both the Tragen and the Dorman Awards and was one of the 2 people selected by Leslie and a State Department committee to open the Family Liaison Office in 1978. Subsequently, she received a State Department Superior Honor Award to recognize her work in the Brussels Community Liaison Office. Mette, please.
Thank you, and good morning. We have now reached the final portion of the program when the Leslie Dorman Award will be presented. As many of you know, Leslie Dorman was a devoted member of the AFSW for over 50 years. She was a tireless advocate for Foreign Service spouses and families, and her dedication and determination resulted in major accomplishments, most notably in the establishment of the Family Liaison Office, which will turn 40 years old next year, would you believe? In 1993, to honor her many accomplishments, the AFSW established the award which I'm about to present on behalf of the Dorman family. We are very pleased to welcome Tim Dorman, who is the son of Leslie and Philip Dorman. This year's recipient of the Leslie Dorman Award is Anna Dworkin. Anna has supported the AFSW since 1981, when she first became a member. Overseas, she served as the AFSW Post Representative and also supported the AFSW through her job as the CLO coordinator. In Washington, Anna joined the AFSW board and served as its assistant treasurer for 3 years. She still serves on the Finance Committee. Born in New Zealand herself, she was active in the setting up of the original Foreign-Born Spouses Network and also served on the board of the Foreign Service Youth Foundation. Since 2008, she has concentrated on the AFSW Book Room and the Book Fair. At one point, a huge backlog of old, rare, and potentially very valuable books was discovered. Anna took on the Herculean task of cleaning up this backlog. This was a very specialized, exacting, and time-consuming task, which involved learning a great deal about valuing, pricing, and selling rare old books. It also took several years to do. She still enjoys managing the Collector's Corner for the bookstore and for the book fair. She has commented that it is most satisfying when a customer finds a volume which is particularly appealing. With her specialized knowledge and steadfast support, she has been a very important part of the bookstore, book fair operation for 10 years. As a colleague of Anna's wrote, I have worked on several projects with her over the years. She continues to have enthusiasm, is thoughtful in her ideas, and takes the time to make suggestions and improvements to the task at hand. Anna has been a wonderful asset to the Collector's Corner. And so, on behalf of the Dorman family, it gives me great pleasure to present the 2017 Dorman Award to Anna Dworkin for sustained and outstanding service to the Associates of the American Foreign Service worldwide. Thank you.
Thank you, Mette, for that wonderful introduction. It is now more than a year since Leslie Dorman passed away, but I think she would be very happy to know that her annual award will continue to recognize those who volunteer for AAFSW, and it is special that her son could be here today. Books are very important to AAFSW. We receive wonderful donations all year round, and we sell them in our bookstore downstairs in the State Department and at our annual art and book fair, which is very special. The proceeds support the scholarships we give to Foreign Service family members and other member services. I really enjoy the process of pricing and selling the good old books, the collectible ones, the beautiful ones. I really do enjoy it. And I especially value the friendships I have made with others while volunteering, and there's many of them here today, and that is very special. So thank you very much for this award.
And this is yours also. So, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, there is a very special guest and longtime AAFSW member sitting in our audience today that we would like to honor with a much-deserved surprise award. This award is very timely, as the volunteers of the Associates of the American Foreign Service Worldwide and the Association for Diplomatic Studies and Training are launching a joint effort to record the history of the American Foreign Service spouses. This long-time AAFSW member has been a pioneer of this effort by recording the stories of over 170 American diplomatic spouses and initiating the Foreign Service Spouse Oral History Project in 1986. Most of these stories are now in the Library of Congress, and a summary of this appears in her book, Married to the Foreign Service, which was published in 1994. To help me give this special award, I would like to invite one of the spouses interviewed for this project and whose interview is in the Library of Congress, Mrs. Sheila Switzer, our AAFSW Program Chair and Foreign Board Spouse, State Liaison. As the President of the Associates of the American Foreign Service Worldwide, it is my great honor to present the AAFSW Lifetime Achievement Award to Ms. Jewel Fenzi. Jewel, please proceed. This award includes the picture of the cover of Jewel's book, and it reads, "The Associate of the American Foreign Service Worldwide present the Lifetime Achievement Award to Jewel Fenzi for being a pioneer in recording the oral history of the American diplomatic spouse. Tuesday, November 7th, 2017. Thank you very much.
Well, I had a carefully planned one-moment speech that I was going to talk about my oral history life, but after listening to these women today, there was no way I was going to talk about what I did compared to what they're doing today. I mean, it's a different foreign service, and I take my hat off to all of you, really. But I did enjoy doing the oral histories because when my husband retired and I got tired of sanding floors and things after 10 years of tenants in our house, I went over to the Library of Congress one day to look up all that I expected to find about Foreign Service wives. There was virtually nothing the most interesting thing was a little play written by someone from the oil press in, I think it was Wyoming, and it described Abigail Adams' gown when she was presented when John was the minister to I thought, we had to do something about updating that. And right after that, I met Don Ritchie. Don, where are you? You're here today.
Yes, there he is.
Okay, there you. Well, Don, stand up, because you pay. Without Don, this would never have happened. He also happened to be the head of the Oral History Association of America at that time. And he just took my hand and led me through oral history. Don, I have all your notes. I have all your letters. If you ever get another client, I'll be happy to share them with you. And then I have to thank all of you too, because Judy Eichels was one of the interviews, and Meta, you must have been an interview. Yes. And who?
Patricia Ryan?
Oh, yes. And Sheila, too. Yes, or many others. Yeah, so you're here today. And we just interviewed these wives. We had to find money, and fortunately, Mrs. Jefferson Patterson had formed the Marpat Foundation, and she was most generous with us, and she made it really possible for us to do what we did. I'm sorry she is not here today. I'm also sorry that my husband Guido isn't here today, because as I did in the book say, thank you for taking me along, because I couldn't have done it without you. And now my two darling children have taken his place, Ruth Reeder and my son Camilo Fenzi. And several months ago, I said, Camilo, the fact that you grew up the way you did, I mean, you went to 13 schools, and I don't know how many continents, how many languages. And I said, I'm just amazed at how American you really are. And he said, Mom, we thought everybody lived this way. So they really enjoyed the Foreign Service as I did, and I think we all had such a wonderful time, and I'm glad you all are having such a wonderful, successful time too. Thank you.
I would like you to congratulate also Jules, because she is 90 years old. Congratulations.
Well, congratulations, a much-deserved award, and we hope that the joint effort between AAFSW and ADST to carry on this idea will take roots, especially when donors will approve the grants that we have written and we can move forward. So with this, I would like to conclude the ceremony. I would like to thank all of you for being present. We are very, very pleased that you are all here for this lovely occasion. All of us at the Associates of the American Foreign Service Worldwide would like to thank our generous donors, the regional bureaus, flow director Susan Frost, Christina Randolph, and the Family Liaison Office staff, the Corps, our AAFSW SOSA Chair Yolanda Macias-Cottrell, and the SOSA Committee, and our own members for their continued support of our annual AAFSW Awards program. As the President, I would like to personally thank Deputy Assistant Secretary Dearman for all her support and for honoring us with her presence, as well as Mette Brickford, Sheila Switzer, and our AAFSW Office Manager Barbara Riou for their boundless efforts and relentless determination to perfection. All the winners, if it is possible, with your certificates, please come up on the stage so we can take a group picture with their certificates. And thank you all for attending. You are most welcome to join us at the reception. Enjoy your afternoon and enjoy a lovely cloudy day in Washington, D.C.
Program December 12 at the State Department. We're going to have a wonderful concert, the Lullaby piece for the holiday season. We look forward to seeing you on the 12th in the George Marshall Auditorium at 11 o'clock. Thank you for coming and have a wonderful day.